Hey, what's up and hello, I'm Casey and welcome into today's stretch session. We're going to get started right away, coming down into a kneeling position, one knee down, opposite knee up. Place your hands onto your hips and make sure you've got enough space. We're going straight in for our kneeling hip flexor stretch. So right away, you should feel a sensational stretch inside of the front of your hip. If you don't, go ahead and take this foot out a little bit farther so we can get a little bit deeper into it. We've got our stretches for just about a minute today, spending time with each one and focusing on our breath. So take your deep inhale in, your big exhale, let it go. Feel free to push yourself back and then come back into the stretch. Our hip flexors take on so much inside of our everyday lives, so we want to give them this extra time and attention to really get into the stretch. We're going to continue with this, taking the exact same side that has the leg down, coming up and over, grab a hold of your tricep at the same time to get a little bit deeper into our side. Whew. So we're feeling this all along our side, getting the deep stretch. Go ahead and release everything to come out, and we're going right back into it. So we find our press inside of our hip flexor, reach up and over, grabbing the tricep, getting into it. I know there's a little balance inside of this one as well. Breathing through, finding one spot to focus on. Beautiful. Few more seconds here, and then we're going to shoot our hips back and stretch our hamstring on the other leg. Just relaxing through. We're going to slowly make our transition together, releasing the arms. Hands come down, press our hips back, bring your toes up to the sky, and sinking in for a stretch inside of the hamstring on the other leg and the calf. So naturally, our bodies want to shoot our hip up. We're gonna fight against that impulse, try and keep them in a line, and keeping our toes pointed up towards the sky, reaching down to the ground, and just breathing once again. Now this one for me, I always call it very humbling. My hamstrings are exceptionally tight. So for me, I feel like I can barely reach the ground. And if you're with me, that is a-okay. We take this time, we breathe into it, we relax, we give our bodies the chance to relax and reset, giving all the love back. We're going to go through and switch our legs in just a few seconds, going through that exact same pattern, but on the other side this time. Slowly begin to send this leg back. So the opposite knee is going down, opposite one coming out in front, hands going onto the hips, and shoot forward to stretch inside of our hip flexor. Now for me, this side is far tighter than the other side. Based on a whole lot of injuries, this side always carries a lot of stress and tension. So I can't get as deeply into the stretch. This is when I find my breath to be the most effective tool that I can use. Because when we breathe, it reminds our bodies, reminds our minds that we are okay, we are safe and protected. Go ahead and come out of it. Bring your foot maybe just a little bit farther forward, shooting back in once again. Ooh. This is one of my personal favorites. I absolutely love this stretch. Spending the time, just letting go of anything that we're carrying with us from our day. We're going to do the same thing, reaching our arm up and over, grabbing a hold of the elbow. Whew. Got about a minute here with this one. And feel free to make your exhales audible to really relax into that. Go ahead and release it once again. We're going to come back out and reset completely into it. Pressing forward, arm comes up, grabbing a hold of the elbow. Sometimes whenever going into these stretches with our hips, I feel like some of the extra things from like work, from personal life, just a full relaxation and a reminder that I can handle it. So if you need that right now, this is me sending you all that energy to say you absolutely can handle whatever life is bringing your way. We got this. We're going to shoot back, going for our hamstring on the other side. Right now, placing the hands down, sending the hips back. Ooh, the balance there. And then again, I feel my hip wanting to come up. We reset back down, finding the stretch. Whew. I also find this one a ton in my calf as well too. Our calves take on a huge amount of impact, especially like runners, power walkers. We have a lot of impact on our calves, so we want to give that a little chance to breathe as well here too. Also take the chance to give yourself congratulations for being here. There were so many years in my life I would not do additional stretches because I didn't like it. It made me feel awkward. It made me feel dumb. So you're here doing this right now. Give yourself a little congratulations that you have shown up and taken this time for you. That is fantastic. We're going to come out of this and go into our cat-cow next. So we're going to swing our leg back, going for our cat-cow from here, coming to our all-fours position, and moving through with the arching and then bringing our chest forward and through. Inhale, and exhale. I recently went through and was working with another instructor and had us spending time inside of this position in the cat, just a little extra. And I found all of this extra space inside of my spine. I was like, I had no idea that I could move up to that height. So feel free to take this at a little slower pace. Kind of realize some of your range of motion, maybe spots that you're holding tension. A few more seconds, and then we're going to move into a thread the needle. One last one. Now taking one arm, reaching it out, and now reach it up towards the sky. Follow it with your gaze up towards your fingertips. And we're going to sweep through, dropping our shoulder down onto the ground. So you're feeling a stretch inside of your shoulder, inside of your back as well. We're slowly going to reset, go back through that full range of motion, slowly come out, reach your hand up, trying to get maybe even a little bit farther, and now we swing it back through. Whew. And just breathe. We're going to move through all of this onto the other side, taking a few more seconds here, relaxing into it. Slowly come up to all fours once again. Same thing, but on the other side. So reaching our opposite hand, following our gaze all the way up towards the ceiling, and now sweeping through. Maybe even bringing that opposite arm up just a little bit more. We're going back through that all once again, trying to see if we can get a little bit more opening inside of the chest, placing your hand down. Reach up, following with your gaze, and now sweeping through. Having the option once again if you'd like to reach up. We've only got one move left together. We'll finish with a child's pose, just taking our time, connecting with our breath to end this. Slowly start to unravel. Come back to our all fours position. Now take our knees outside of hips distance. Bring the toes together. Shoot the hips back. Arms go nice and long. We finish here, this final minute, in child's pose. Taking up space with your fingers. Feeling your belly fill on each breath. Taking in gratitude. Exhaling any doubts, any worries. Just a few more seconds here. One last final deep breath. Slowly coming up to your seated position. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Casey, and until next time, Later days.